Okay, guys. So, in our last session, we have started with the concept which is called as code on wages. Kada, yes or no? So, code on wages lo we have started many sections. How many sections? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 9. Total 5 sections. Okay, can anyone explain those 5 sections? Uddhav. Devender. Pasa. Okay, so we'll revise. Come on. Okay, guys. Section 3 and section 4. These section 3 and section 4 are discussing about equal remuneration provisions. Yes or no? Section 3 and section 4. What is section 3? No gender discrimination. No gender discrimination based upon at the time of recruitment, at the time of wages. Okay, if there is any discrimination between genders, okay, about this recruitment or about wages, then the aggrieved party can go and complain where? To whom? Authority. Which type of authority? Authority appointed by appropriate government. Authority appointed by appropriate government. Pakka? So what is an appropriate government? Appropriate government. The government which is appropriate is called as appropriate government. Simply speaking, ade kada, yes or no? So for I already explained in the previous session, for railways, what is the appropriate government for that? Central government. So for APSRTC, what is the appropriate government? State government. Yes or no? Pakka? So these appropriate government, what they do is they fix what? Minimum wages. Yes or no? Minimum wages, minimum rate of wages. So minimum rate of wages, employer shall pay the rate of wages above the minimum wages, below the minimum rate of wages, above the rate of minimum wages. Yes or no? Which is fixed by the appropriate government. Which section is that? Section 5. Amma Gurtasnaya? Yeah, section 5 ఏమని చెప్తుంది? Come on, tell me what is section 5 discussing? Minimum rate of wages fixed by appropriate government. No employer shall pay the wages which is less than no అని పెట్టాను కదరా. నో అని చెప్పినప్పుడు దాని అర్థం ఏంటి? ఏ ఎంప్లాయర్ కూడా what have to do, what is his responsibility? To pay less than or greater than? To pay greater than rate of wages which is minimum. Yes or no? So that is section 5. Section 6. So this minimum rate of wages which is prescribed by appropriate government, how does it prescribe that? How does it fix? There are certain factors of fixing and it fixes based upon time and piece. Okay, time in the sense hourly, timely and hourly, daily, monthly, weekly. Super. Piece rate in the sense number of units produced, based upon number of units produced. Guys, are these points clear? Yes or no? Okay. Now what are the factors of considering it? What? Based upon skill, based upon work hazards. Simple. Yes or no? Pakka? Amma, yes or no? Okay. And we also discussed section 7. What is section 7 discussing about? Okay, for fixing of minimum wages, okay, you fix the minimum wages, but there are 3 components in that wages. What are the 3 components? Basic, cost of living allowance, cash value of concessions. So these 3, who will calculate these 3? Appropriate government. Appropriate government Kaadu. Who will give it? The authority will compute this cash value of concessions and everything, and he will submit those to appropriate government. Then appropriate government sees that, and he will come. They will come into the conclusion that okay, this amount is appropriate. They will fix that minimum wages based upon the information which is provided by the authority. Simple? Yes or no? Section 7. Apinda? Yes or no? And we also have discussed section 9, I think. Section 9. What is section 9 discussing about? Fixation of minimum wages. Floor rate of wages. Floor wage rate. So floor wage rate, minimum wage rate have to be greater than floor rate, less than floor rate, not greater than, not less than. Yes or no? Minimum rate of wages have to be more than floor rate, less than floor rate, more than. It should always be more than the floor rate. Pakka? This floor rate, who will fix this floor rate? Appropriate government, central government? Central government will fix this floor rate. Guys, are these points clear? Yes or no? Simple or harder? Simple. Very simple. Okay? Ardhamainda? Okay. Now, let's go to the next concept. In the same minimum wages concept, what is that next concept which we are going to discuss is section 10 and section 11. First we'll go to section number 11. Okay, section number 11. What is that section number 11? Can anyone read that? Wages for 2 or more classes of work. 2 or more classes of work. That is, for example, if at all a worker is working under me, okay. So suppose if at all I am an employer and I do have an employee or a worker, okay, worker, he is working, okay, under my hand, or okay, under my control he is working, okay. So what happened is, this fellow is also working and there is another worker also working under me, okay. So what happened is, this fellow is working in the administration department, okay. Suppose this worker's name is X and this worker's name is Y, okay. Suppose there are 2 workers and I am the employer, and one worker is working under my control in administrative department. Another worker is working in marketing department, for example, okay. Come on guys. Now what happened is, due to some unavoidable reasons, okay, due to some unavoidable reasons, Y was unable to come to my organization, okay. Actually, what X used to get is, for doing administrative department, the work in the administrative department, he used to get around 10,000 rupees. Per month he used to get around 10,000 rupees. The persons, if at all any person work in the marketing department, they get around 12,000 rupees. They get around 12,000 rupees. Come on, tell me guys. Now, this person, why? He is not coming, no. He is unable to come. So what happened is, I went to X and I'm asking X that, Arey Baba, why is not coming to our organization from the next month? Okay, you already have a small experience in marketing department also, no? Do one thing. Okay, instead of why is not going to come to our organization from the next month? No. Do one thing. This person is not going to come. You do one thing. What is that? Do 15 days work in administrative department and 15 days work in marketing department, because marketing department person is not coming, no. So what you have to do? 15 days work. 15 days work. That is half month work. You work in the administrative department and half month you work in marketing department. If that is the case, come on, tell me, what will be the salary of that X in that next month? What will be the salary of what will be the wages of that person? 11,000, huh? How can you say that 11,000? Average, huh? Average, huh? Yes or no? Average? Pakka? Damn sure? Okay. So that is a point we are going to discuss in section number 11. Can anyone read that? Section number 11, where an employee does 2 or more classes of work which carry different minimum rate of wages is applicable. Okay, for for administrative department, minimum rate of wages is different. But whereas for marketing department, different wages, different rate of wages is applicable. Yes or no? Come on, they tell me, if that person is working in two different classes, okay, how can he get the salary? How can he get the wages? In that case, the employer shall pay to such on the basis of time occupied in each classes of work. What is the time occupied by this X in administrative department? 15 days. Okay. Yeah, how many days? 15 days. What is the time which is occupied in marketing department? 15 days. So if at all in that case, 15 days in the sense, for 1 month he will be getting 10,000. No, 15 days in the sense. So what will be his salary? 5,000, 6,000, total 11,000 will be his wages per that month. Pakka. So when an employee, when a worker is working in 2 or more classes of work, then how can his wages be apportioned? Based upon the time occupied in each such class of work. Simple? Yes or no? So what will be his month, his salary, his wages? 11,000 for that month. Simple? Amma ardhamainda? Yes or no? Easy or harder? Easy. Pakka? Okay, let's read that. Section number kitna? 11. The same point, where an employee does 2 or more classes of work which carry different minimum rate. Please highlight this. Different minimum rate of wages, and the employer shall pay or to such on the basis of time occupied in each classes of work. Time occupied in each classes of work. Guys, are these points clear? Simple hai? Okay. Let's go to the next point. Okay. That is section number 10. Section number 10. Okay. First of all, can anyone read that section number 10? Sunita? Works. Constituting a normal working day. Okay, for example, I'll give you a small example. Okay, see, for example, guys, if at all there is a worker, okay, there is an employer and there is a worker called as Z. Okay, there is a worker called as Z, and there is also a worker called as Y. If there are two workers, okay, if there are two workers in my organization and one worker is Z and another worker's name is Y. So what happened is, on a specified day, on some day, what happened is Z also came to the organization, Y also came to the organization. Okay, but what happened is Z was not feeling well. He was sick. Okay, so what happened is he was unable to do his work and he is not capable of doing his work. So this fellow, he have done his work half day. Okay, half day. He came to the organization, he worked for half day, but he is not able to work for the remaining day. Remaining hours he is not able to work. Okay, did you get my point? Normally he came to the organization, point number 1. Point number 2, he did not work in that day. On that day he did not work, but he came to the organization. He was unable to do his work. Okay, on the day shift, there is a day shift, right? In the morning shift only he came to me and asked at sharp, okay, there will be 2 shifts, right? Morning and the afternoon shift. Okay, in the morning session, that is the first half of the day, he came to me at sharp 11 o'clock and he said that, sir, I cannot work because I am unable to work, sir. I am not feeling well. So please give me permission. So he asked me the permission and he went off. Come on, tell me guys, should I calculate this day also as a full day and give him wages or not? Yes or no? Why? Permission Permission. He took the permission or not? Yes or no? Pakka. Okay. So that is the reason, if at all he came to that organization, okay, he came to that organization, he worked but not the full day. Okay, daily actually in that organization, every worker has to work for at least 8 hours. We get, okay, we'll put as 8 hours. But he worked for only 1.5 hours like that. Will he take the 8 hours wages or only 1.5 hour wages? 8 hours wages he can take. 8 hours wages he can take. Pakka? Damn sure? There is also another employee working in our organization. That fellow's name is Y. That fellow's name is Y. He also came to the organization. And he is asking me permission. Sir, I don't want to do work, sir. Why you don't want to do? Sir, I am not, my mood is not good. I want to go home. Are, if your mood is not good, what should I do, Ra? Sir, give me leave. I'll go home. Okay, I cannot do work for the remaining 7 hours. I don't want to do. I also want he came to me at 11 o'clock. Organization started at 9 o'clock, but he came to me at 11 o'clock and he said, sir, I am not willing to work. He said it recklessly, and he doesn't want to work on that day. Come on, tell me, I gave him leave. Should I cut that wages or not? Yes or no? Why? What is the difference between this and this? What is the difference between that and this? Between Z and Y? What is the difference? Genuine reason. This is not genuine reason. This is also genuine reason only. No, he don't want to work. He said it. Riska. Recklessness. Whoa. We'll see that. Okay. Come on. Let's read that section number 10 once again. Section number 10. If at all we read that section number 10, we can get a better understanding. If an employee whose minimum rate of wages has been fixed on time on the day works basis, that is per day he have to take that amount. Okay, daily he will take that amount. For example, daily per day his day charges is for 500. Okay. Per day he will be taking 500. But what happened? On which he has employed for a period less than the number of hours constituting a normal working day. If at all in that organization, normal working day is of 8 hours. Normal working day is of 8 hours. For 8 hours he have to take 500. He worked only for how many hours? 2 hours. Yes or no? 2 hours. But Mr. Z, is his contention genuine or not? Is his reason genuine or not? Yes or no? See, let's read that. He shall be entitled to receive the wages in respect of work done on that day, as if we worked as a full normal working day. Even if he has worked for only 2 hours or 1 hour, whatever he has worked, he can take full day wages. That is, how much he can take? 500 rupees he can take. Pakka? Damn sure. Even if he has not worked for the complete day, he can take how many? The full day wages he can receive. But there are certain exceptions. What is that? If the failure to work is caused by the unwillingness to work. Here, why has not worked? Okay, there was a failure in working. Yes or no? Why also came to the employer and said, sir, I cannot work. What is the reason for you to not to work? Sir, I am unwilling to work. I don't want to work. Who will do this work daily? I am vexed. I don't want to work this. Then what you will do? Go home. Take rest. If at all you want to go home then. But what I will do? I will not give you daily wages of 500. Daily wages of 500. Only based upon how many hours you have worked. Based upon that only I will give. If at all I don't want to give that also, I will not give. Pakka? See, if at all it is the reason is unwillingness to work. he is not willing to work. Then what happened? And not by the omission of the employer, and not by the omission of the employer to work, to provide him with work. Then in that case, what will happen, my dear students? What will happen? His wages will be cancelled. His wages will be given a full day wages. His wages will not be given on the daily basis. Pakka, even if that fellow has taken the permission also, but his wages will be given or not, will not be given, will not be given. But in the previous case, that is in the case of Z, what will be the case of Z then? He will be given the wages as if he has worked a full day wage. Pakka? Full day. Simple? Yes or no? Guys, section 10 and section 11. Fasak? Pakka? Okay, come on, revise with me. What is section 9 telling about? We have discussed. Section 9 telling about, section 9 is discussing about what? Floor rate of wages. Then what about section 10? Section 10 is telling that if at all a person is working, and that person is working how many days? Based upon the daily wage. Based upon the daily wage, and that is based upon time. Okay, based upon time he is working, and if that person is unable to do the work, if that person is unable to do the work, then the employer who is providing the wages, can he give full wages, full day wage? Yes, he can give the full day wage. That is what section 10 is telling. What is the title of section number 10? Come on, read. Wages of the employee who works for less than normal working day. Wages of the worker who is working for normal working day. If at all the worker is working for less than the normal working day hours, then also he can take what? Full day wage. Pakka? But if that worker, the work is, the failure in work is due to what? Is due to unwillingness, then he will not receive. Simple. Amma ardhamayutunda? Yes or no? Come on, tell me. Pakka? Then what about section 11 then? Section 11. Section 11 क्या बोलता है? Huh? Where an employee is working more than one class of work. Okay, more than one, that is more than two or more classes of work. Then how can his wages be segregated? How can he get the wages, minimum wages? Based upon the time apportioned between that. Pakka? Pakka? Yes or no? So please go through those two sections quickly, fast. Come on, fast. పెద్దమ్మ చేతు వంట. హూ ఇస్ దట్ అమ్మ? పెద్దమ్మ చేతు వంట. హాయ్ అమ్మ, పెద్దమ్మ చేతు వంట. పెద్దమ్మ చేతి వంట అంటే భువనేశ్వర. భువనేశ్వర్ అంటే ఎవరు? బోనా. పెద్దమ్మ చేతి. రత్నకుమారి అంటే రత్నకుమారి. హలో హలో రత్నకుమారి. గైస్ కమాన్ కమాన్. बोलो सेक्शन. हाँ सेक्शन 12. सेक्शन 12 को వచ్చేద్దాం రండమ్మా. Come on, let's go to section number 12. Last section కాదు, there is section 8 also. Okay, so that section we will be discussing in the next session, the 8th section. Okay, but at present we will start with next section, that is section number 12. Okay na, section number 12. What is section number 12 telling? Come on, let's go. Minimum time rate wages for a piece work where, okay, minimum time rate wages for a piece work. For example, guys, for example, just listen. Okay, for example, if at all an establishment is there, and that the workers working in that establishment, the workers who are working in that establishment, are only based upon time rate of wages. That is, okay, sorry. Okay, guys, please listen ra. Nana vinandamma. See, where an employee is employed on piece rate but no piece rate has been fixed, then it shall be ensured that he shall be paid at the rate which is not less than the minimum time rate. That means, if at all in an establishment, the employer is giving the wages only based upon time. That is, it may be of monthly, or it may be of hourly, or whatever it may be, but only based upon time. He is giving only based upon time. Okay, now what happened? A new worker is joining in that establishment. And what he is asking is, sir, I don't want based upon time rate, but can you provide me based upon piece rate? What is mean by piece? Number of unit produced. How many units I'll produce, based upon that you give me the wages. If at all a worker is joined for piece rate, but in that organization, what is the experience? Time rate or piece rate? Till now only time rate have been fixed, no piece rate. Piece rate has not been fixed. Yes or no? Now this person who has joined in that organization, will he receive on the basis of time or on the basis of piece rate? He is joining on the basis of piece rate. How will he get wages? He will get wages on the basis of piece rate only, but that piece rate shall not be less than the time rate. That is, for example, in that organization, the minimum rate of wages for a worker on that basis of time is, for example, 10,000. For example, his wages is 10,000. In that case, this person, he is getting around 8,500 number of units produced on the basis of number of units produced. If at all he get the wages, maximum he is getting 8,500. How much should the employer give? Whether he have to give 10,000 or whether he have to give 8,000? 10,000 or 8,000? 10,000. Okay. Did you get my point? So what is our act telling, our code telling is, point number 1, if at all the organization's practice is only based upon time and not based upon peace, in that case, if at all a worker have been employed in our establishment and he has joined in our establishment for what? Piece rate, then the employer can give him the wages of piece rate, but it shall not be less than the minimum time rate. Simple. Yes or no? Will he get 8,000 or will he get 10,000? 10,000. Sir, the number of units produced is 850. For each product he is giving 10 rupees. Then that means he have to get 8,500 only. No. Yes, he have to get 8,500. But the minimum wages in our organization for time is how much? Minimum they will be giving 10,000. In that case, this fellow also have to get 10,000. Pakka? Yes or no? That is what this section number 12 is describing us. Come on, let us read that. Section number 12. Minimum time rate for what? Piecework. Minimum time rate for what? Piecework. Yes, this fellow worked for piecework rate only. But still, the minimum time rate, it is less than the time rate. No. In that case, he will get the minimum time rate only. Even if he is employed for piece rate also. Pakka? Where an employee employed on piecework but no piece rate has been fixed, then it shall be ensured that he shall be paid at the rate which shall not be less than the minimum time rate. Guys, are these points clear? Yes or no? Please go through with that. I'll give you 1 minute. Come on, quick. Hi, Kalyan. Okay, guys, come on. Next section number 13. Okay. After this section, we'll conclude the session. Okay, na? Last section in this session. Come on. Section number 13. Okay. Section number 13. Okay, na? We already discussed this section also many times. We'll just go through with that. Okay. Section number 13. What is section number 13 telling? Come on, read the title of it. Fixing the hours of work for a normal fixing hours of work for normal working day. For normal working day, you know, number of hours, fixing a number of hours. That is what this section 13 is telling. Okay, where a minimum rate of wages have been fixed, the appropriate government may, when the minimum rate of wages have been fixed, then what happens? The appropriate government may fix the number. Once minimum rate of wages have been fixed, then what happens? Appropriate government, what does it do? Number of hours of work it will fix. It will fix number of hours which shall constitute a normal working day. That is, see, minimum rate of wages, what did it say is, suppose the minimum rate of wages is 15,000. If it tells like this, minimum rate of wages is 15,000, then after that what appropriate government says is, okay, if at all the minimum rate of wages is 15,000, then per day, how many hours a worker have to work in one day? In one day, how many hours he have to work? As per Factories Act, how many hours should an employee work? 8 or 9? 9 hours as per Factories Act. Normally 8 hours, in the ordinary course, 8 hours will be, every employee will work for 8 hours only. Okay, but as per Factories Act, how many hours a worker have to work? 9 hours only. Maximum 9 hours only a worker have to work. Okay, so that limit have to be prescribed by whom? Appropriate government. What does appropriate government say is, the worker have to get a minimum wages of 15,000 per month. Okay, only if that worker, if at all he work for 8 hours, if at all he work for 9 hours, that appropriate government shall fix. Did you get my point? Yes or no, guys? Pakka? 8 hours. Maximum 8 hours. A worker have to work for 8 hours maximum. Okay, it shall be prescribed by whom? Appropriate government. A worker have to work for 9 hours maximum. Not more than that. It shall be prescribed by whom? Appropriate government. Simple. Yes or no? See, fixation of number of hours of work which shall constitute a normal working day, inclusive of one or more specified intervals. With the intervals 10 hours, 10.5 hours in Factories Act. We discussed. Are you able to recollect it? Yes or no? Maximum how many hours with intervals? 10.5. Okay, pakka. In a day without intervals, how many hours I have to work? 9 hours in Factories Act. Okay, here also that number of hours which the worker have to work shall be prescribed by appropriate government. With intervals, how many? Without intervals, how many hours he have to work? Pakka. Next point. In that, while fixing, full week he have to work, 7 days he have to work, no. 1 day of rest have to be given. 1 day have to be given as rest. We already know this, right? Okay, if at all whole week, if there is a law class, will you able to survive? Batuku nahi sakta. Yes or no? Batuku sakta, batuku nahi sakta. Batuku nahi sakta. So the same way, employee also, if at all that person works in that organization and he have to be given at least 1 day of rest, okay, to spend with his family. If that is not there, no, he will go to sannyasam only. Simple. Yes or no? Pakka. Next. If an employee is working on such day of rest, if at all that person is working on such day of rest also, that work Sunday also, if at all he is working, then he shall be provided with what? OT. Wow. He shall be provided with OT. Overtime rate. OT. Overtime rate. Simple. Yes or no? Okay. I'll give you an question, guys. If at all a worker is working for 6 days, if at all a worker is working for 6 days, how many days he have to be given as rest? 1 day what? Rest. If at all that person is not taking a rest of 1 day, that is, he is working for 7 days. Wow. 7 days if at all that worker is working, what happens? If at all that worker is working on that 7th day also, then what happens is he shall be provided with what? OT, overtime rate. Simple? Yes or no? Pakka? Pakka. In certain cases, there is no need for the employer to provide OT. Okay? What are those cases? Point number 1. If that situation is emergency, for example, if within 2 days or within 3 days, 100 products have to be manufactured. Okay? Till now, actually, we made an agreement that 1000 units will be produced within a span of 2 months. But what happened is, we have produced only 900 units and there are only 2 or 3 days left to provide the remaining 100 units. Then what happens is, Are Babu, you please work on that Sunday also. Please work on that Sunday. Because we have to produce, we have to give that products. Yes or no? How many units? Totally 1000 units. Balance, how many units are there? 100. To provide 1000, 100 units we have to produce. That is due to emergency. If that is due to emergency, then we have to give OT or what? OT, we have to provide OT? No. We have to provide OT or not? We should not provide OT. Come on, let's read that. Where an employees are engaged in any emergency which could not have been foreseen or prevented. Which could not have been foreseen or prevented. If that is the case, what can the employer do? Employer, don't do overactions. Don't do overactions. No rest. Okay. This week you have to work for sure. Sir, then what about OT, sir? Don't do overactions. You have to work for whole week. Because we have to produce, right? If at all that is a case of emergency and employees engage in a work which could not be carried on except at the times of dependent on irregular action of natural forces, like for example, earthquakes or any other disasters happen. In that cases also, Are Babu, no, don't take Sunday as rest. Okay, you should work on that day also. Please don't be relaxed. You have to work on that day also. I cannot provide you what? OT. Okay, in these cases, OT is not needed. What are the 2 cases which we discussed now? One is at the time of emergency, then there is no need for what? OT. And second one, it is for what? Irregular action of natural forces. Then also there is no need for what? Giving OT. Okay. The next one is employees whose employment is intermittent. For example, if that establishment is a seasonal establishment. Okay, the working days is only 4 to 5 months. In the whole year, working day is only 4 to 5 months, and you are asking, sir, there is no Sunday for us. How are you asking that Sunday, you idiot fellow? Yes or no? How are you asking that Sunday as a holiday? Pakka, you are working only for 90 to 100 days in a year, and you are asking Sunday as a holiday. Is that possible, Amma? Yes or no? No, in that case, in that Sunday, there is no need for the employer to provide what? OT. Simple? Pakka? Damn sure? Yes. Next point is, employees engaged in any work which technical reasons has to be completed before the duty is over. Pakka, for example, if there is any technical issue, okay, technical issue, that respective technical, technical manager or technical assistant, he have to take care. And, that situation came, okay, and it is on Sunday, and this fellow is telling, sir, on Sunday I cannot come. You are working only sometimes. Okay, only when the problem is coming, when the problem is found, you are coming and rectifying that problem, and you are telling that you cannot work on that Sunday. You want OT. How can employer give OT? So in these 4 cases, OT cannot be given. Pakka? If at all the worker is working on Sundays also, on the day of rest also, that person will not be given what? OT. What are the 4 cases? Come on, tell me. Point number 1, if that establishment is purely based upon intermittent. Point number 2, Any other? Due to any emergency. Point number 3, natural forces. Point number 4, yeah, technical. Pakka? Guys, any points? Any other doubts? Yes or no? So what and all are the points which we discussed till now is section 3, section 4, section 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, 8 we haven't discussed. Yes or no? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Pakka? Okay. This 8 we will be discussing in next session. Okay. So the section 3 and section 4 are discussing about what? Remuneration. And the remaining topics till 13, 5 to 13, we discussed here about minimum wages. Minimum rate of wages. So minimum rate of wages also have been finished. 2 topics in this code on wages have been completed. Guys, please, every time I keep on telling that you have to revise it. Yes or no? Please put your pen on your paper. Okay. Please put your pen on your paper roughly, just a 5 minutes time. Yes or no? Please go through with those sections once. Then you put your pen on your paper. Try to write by giving overview. That's it. Okay. I'll check those in the next session. Okay. All the best. Take care. Bye bye. Have a nice day.